to the Shark Tank, our first set of pitches for exciting innovations from around the world. Thank you for joining us today, and I'm really proud to present and share this panel. My name is Christopher, and I lead accessibility and disability inclusion for a little company called Google. You might have heard of us. And my job is to understand opportunities for disability across EMEA, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, bring it inside to Google so we can understand the needs of the community and use that information to make our products better. Oh, but I'll be talking about this in the next pitch. So we don't need this slide. Thank you. This is for that number 2. Not only am I leading a panel, I get to be on a panel myself in an hour. So I'm chairing the panel, and my partner, would you introduce yourself?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. You might ask yourself why a representative of a bank or a large Austrian bank is present. In particular, myself being responsible for risk management, it sounds a little bit awkward, but in reality, it's very close, very, very close to the topic which we will learn and get presented today. We are very much interested in new technologies. We are very, very much interested in getting the services right, especially for elderly customers or customers who do have some disabilities. Very curious about learning more about this important subject today. Very happy to be here, and I'm looking forward to have sensational presentations. I have some pre-information, so I'm full of expectation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. So the way things are going to work today is we're going to be going in alphabetical order. Each person is going to have about 8 minutes for their pitch, and then we'll have about 4 minutes for questions. And if there's some burning questions from the audience, I'm not quite sure if we have a roving microphone, but if we have time, I would welcome questions coming in from the audience. So we have 5 products today. We have a product called Assist All, Avatar, Hello Movie, Mouse for All, and RightHear. So as we'll be starting in alphabetical order, we're going to start with Assist All. And Luke, may we have the Assist All presentation on our screens, please? And Luke, the stage is yours.
As you've heard, am I audible enough? As you've heard, my name is Luke MULEKA. I'm the founder and managing director of Science Media. Science Media is a company incorporated in Kenya with headquarters in Nairobi, where we propagate socio-economic, political, and talent development of persons with disabilities through assistive technology. This was an innovation that came out of COVID-19. As you know, a sign language interpreter plays a crucial role in the life of a deaf person, aiding in effective communication, service delivery, and service acquisition. So, we described ourselves as sign language interpreters, interpretation at the service of the button, at the touch of the button, essentially the Uber of sign language interpreters. In Kenya, there are about 260,000 persons with disabilities, and this is according to the statistics of the government 2019. Out of this, we have qualified interpreters who are about 500. And if we're talking about quality, we are talking about interpreters who are able to do like a skill whereby you're able to be audible when a deaf person is presenting, and at the same time you're able to sign when a person is speaking to the audience, a person who is deaf. Potentially, we're talking about 443 million people with hearing impairment in the world. But if you look at that and compare with the interpreters, and this is a research that was done by WHO in 2011, and we are trying to do this and see potentially how many interpreters are there to serve deaf persons. Looking at that, you realize that if each and every organization was to hire a sign language interpreter, then the governments alone will finish interpreters before the corporates will even start. So how will the corporates be able to serve deaf people? In Kenya, for you to have a physical interpreter, we are looking at logistical issues, transport. We are talking about the time that is taken. If we are to quantify that, an interpreter is charging 5,000 shillings. This is the equivalent to around $50. And if you are doing that for a deaf person, this is actually very high, and only to be served as one deaf person with a sign language interpreter. And if you're looking at the distribution, the distribution of Kenya as a country, they find that the landmass is big, and most of these interpreters are based in the capital cities or in main cities. So you find that the people in the far-flung areas deaf people cannot access healthcare, deaf people cannot access banking services because of this. And the other issue is there is also the issue of grammatical differences between English and sign language. For example, they've had people who are saying they are going to write to the deaf, but sometimes sign language is structured in a manner that grammatically it changes or has some variances with the English or any other official languages. Sorry. As I said, a sign language interpreter plays a crucial role in the life of a deaf person, aiding in effective communication, service delivery, and service acquisition. So for a deaf person to be able to work, they need sign language interpreters to be able to communicate at the workplace and give instructions as supervisors. For the deaf person to be able to attend that interview before getting a job, they need to be able to have that sign language interface. For deaf people to access maternal health care, I will tell you that during COVID-19, this is where it all started, whereby deaf people are not able to access sign language interpretation because of the issue of staying at home, the issue of distance, and also wearing of masks. It was very difficult. That's why we thought about putting this for them to access sign language interpretation when in isolation. For deaf people to access accessible banking, there must be sign language interpreters. So we are looking at service delivery and service acquisition being a critical component of a deaf person. So that is what we do. You can reserve a sign language interpreter on Assistol. We have also integrated with mobile money in Kenya, of M-Pesa. Everybody has heard of M-Pesa, and whereby you are able to look at, be able to pay using cards. You're able to pay using major payment like PayPal. And what happens is you have a wallet that detects when there is money. And for us to attain this, we had to be part of a parcel of what we call the Innovate Now program that enables us to go back and do research and understand which are the features that will enable the deaf people and the corporates. What do the corporate want? What do interpreters want? And what do deaf people want to make this product accessible to them? So at your fingertips, we provide interpretation we realize that not just being an interpretation platform, but it enables interpreters to also have an earning opportunity, an income opportunity for them as they serve this service. Because initially, it was taken that interpreters are supposed to offer some of these services pro bono, and we find that it was not motivating them to be able to serve deaf people. So we are looking at 0.3 billing USD, and the revenue share is that, and you can see we've been able to have users of around 7,000 and also 14,000 minutes, and so far we were able to be used during elections in Kenya to help the deaf people to access, to participate in the election process. We do on-demand matching of interpreters, corporates, and professionals, and also we have a payment gateway where we are incorporating most mobile money to be the gateway. So that is my team, myself, and I have business development officer, sign language quality controller that chairs a department that for us to have a professional sign language or a qualified sign language, we must be able to have the deaf people vetting these people who are going to offer them this service, so that we are having interpreters who are qualified. And also we have the chief technical officer who helps us to iterate any issues that we find in the market to be able to make the app usable for deaf people and also the corporates and anybody who want to use the sign language interpreters mobile application Assistol. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is really interesting. There's sort of two questions I have first. One, there's so many languages in Kenya. How do you select which sign languages you want to support?
Kenya has one official sign language, that is Kenya Sign Language. But officially in the country, we have Swahili as a language, we have English as a language, and we have our mother tongues as a languages. So what happens is, when we are doing iteration and when we are profiling the interpreter, we make sure that, for example, if an interpreter is serving in the rural areas where most of the population are speaking Luo or Kikuyu or Luya, we'll be able to profile that this sign language interpreter can speak, first of all, Kenya Sign Language proficiently. followed by English, Swahili, and now the mother tongue they're able to serve. So that in case there are variations or there is communication deviation and someone wants to stretch out and speak in their mother tongue, the interpreter is not finding it awkward to follow the conversation through, because that bridge between the interpreter and the deaf person is very crucial. So we make sure that when we are profiling the interpreter, they're able to serve in those languages. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the presentation. A simple question from my side is, user acceptance is always the key word for making a product successful. What are the hurdles to overcome to really convince somebody to use the new technology? What is the most difficult part to bring it really to a broader usage?
When we are doing, we were coming up with a business model, one of the things we realized is that it will be very difficult or almost impossible to again subject deaf people to the same disadvantages they have had in terms of paying for the service. So we iterated and we were able to put a model whereby the businesses are supposed to pay when they are serving their deaf customers, when they are serving the government is supposed to, but you realize that the decision making to acquire these services, to make corporate sector, to make the governments inclusive, takes a lot of time. So one of the challenges we are having is, or we are experiencing, is to be able to have the user, especially the corporate sector, to understand the importance. So we came, this enabled us also to come up with, as a company or an organization, to come up with the disability services training, whereby we are telling the corporates that, do you know that some of your services, for example, a bank, do you know that your services, the new customer you are missing out is the next, the deaf people that would have gotten your loans, because truth be told that the market is saturated, and it's always that next customer that you're able to plug into that will help you as an organization to be able to turn profits at the, the bottom line of your balance sheet or the profit and loss. So that new customer is the deaf person who is looking for a loan, but you're not. So the decision or the process of getting the corporates to align and be able to understand the need to serve deaf people is one of the challenges that we've been experiencing. But we have gone all the way. We are making sure that we are educating them as part of the package that we do when we are enlisting or when we are presenting for them to accept the usage of Assistor. Thank you.
May I ask one more question? It seems to be you're selling this service to, say, a bank or a school. You're not selling it to individuals. So is the expectation that they will always have access to Wi-Fi? Or do they expect, because data is so expensive, I wonder what how the uptake would be if they don't have access to Wi-Fi?
That actually access to one of the barriers that we experienced when we were doing the iteration and the user clinics or the live labs, and this is thanks to Innovate Now, was that when we were doing this, we realized that technology and access to Wi-Fi and the expansiveness of mobile telephony, because you need a smartphone, will be a challenge. And trust me, most of the deaf people might not be able to access a smartphone for this service. But we thought about it. Why don't we make the service centers or the service points, if it's a bank, the branch to be Assistor ready? Why don't we make the college or the university to be Assistor ready, so that we are not looking at the burden again shifting back to the deaf, because it will factor them out. We will not be solving any problem. We'll be creating another barrier of access to this service. So what we did is, in our modeling, we were able to put up a situation whereby the corporates that are service points to give services to persons with disabilities are the ones that now are able to, one, provide for the access to the network, which is the bundles and the data. Number two, we are making sure that they're the ones that are able to have, and remember that we've also worked this to be able to be available on the web app, so that the laptop at the bank becomes an access point to Assistor, because what I know is that the laptop at the bank is again connected to the internet. So it becomes very easy for us to be able to offer this service to the deaf people at the service points where they're receiving this. We are looking at the medical facilities, whereby that laptop at the medical facility where the doctor is using is able to ping and get an interpreter ready to serve. So that is how we've been able to deal with that challenge of network and access to data, which is expensive, but now we shift that to the corporates.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Du bist es all. So next up is a fascinating project called Avatar, not like the movie. So, Avatar. Oh, actually, no. No.
So the slides are...
No,
are
Avatar. But we can,
Yeah.
we're moving it in an alphabetic order. But if that's too hard, we can go back to whatever order that you have in the deck. It's more important that we get through it than that we do it the way we originally discussed. Should we move to just a Hello Movie? Because that's the easiest. Welcome to the sausage, everyone. Thank you. Okay, let's move to Hello Movie. I'm sorry.
Hello, everyone. I'm Hisaharu SUZUKI, COO at Evixar. Our company, Evixar, develop and provide the application called Hello Movie, which provides audio description and closed caption in a movie theater for visually and hearing impaired people. So, in Japan, everyone can enjoy the movie using the app from the first release day. So before explaining, before explaining our Hello Movie, so let me introduce our core technology of Evixar. So before this presentation, thank you. Our CEO passed the demo item for a part of you. So, yeah, please, long press. Yeah. Okay, please, anyway. Oh, no. Okay. So can you up the volume of sound? Yeah, okay.
Now, please remember, we only have 8 minutes for the entire presentation.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, let's play. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry. So, as you see, when the music is progressed, so the pen light changes the lighting color. So, how we achieve it? So we use only the sound of the demo movie. So we are the deep tech company of the acoustic communication region. So, yeah. Once again, let me explain about Hello Movie. This slide explains how to use application for the visually impaired. So at first, the user downloads the app to their smartphone. Once the app is launched, they tap the audio description button. They can see the list of movie titles. Then select a title and download the data. After downloading, the app is locked on the light screen. So the only they have to do is visiting to the movie theater with this smartphone and their favorite earpiece. When the movie is played in the theater, so Hello Movie app recognizes the sound of the movie and understands the timing which the user watched. The playback timing of the audio guide is perfectly synchronized for the movie. This is our acoustic communication technology. No need for dedicated equipment, but only smartphone. The engineer of the movie theater just plays the movie as usual. Then Hello Movie plays the audio description in sync. For hearing impaired people, the usage of this application is much the same. However, when closed captions are displayed on smartphone, their eyes may go back and forth between smartphone and the screen. So it is busy a little bit. So to solve this problem, we also offer a rental service of equipment called Jimaku Megane. So Jimaku means closed caption. Megane means the glasses. So if you rent these AR glasses at the movie theater, you can display closed caption in the glasses, the same as audio description. So no more headaches from shaking your head too much. Yeah. So we call this method of providing a guide using only sound the Hello Movie method. This method has 3 good points. First, this method is cost-effective. No additional equipment is needed for the movie theater, but only user's smartphone. Secondly, Hello Movie method is production-friendly. All production of a Hello Movie can be started after final editing of the movie. It doesn't affect the production schedule. Third, this method is stable in a movie theater. Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are often unstable when many people are in one place, like a movie theater. But sound is not. We can hear the movie sound perfectly in a movie theater because the acoustic system of a movie theater is highly designed for playing sound. Let me also explain the workflow of Hello Movie in this slide. First, the production studio produces the movie and its audio description and closed caption. In Japan, the part of audio description and closed caption is supported by the government. We receive the sound data and the guide data from the production studio after final editing. We convert them into application data and upload the data to a server for user download. Of course, the application data support our acoustic communication technology. In Japan, production studio and movie theaters are active to improve accessibility for the movie. Production studio often create guide data even if government doesn't support it. Movie theaters are providing rental services of AR glasses. We always appreciate it. Hello Movie app released more than 250 titles, and the download number is more than 330,000. Fortunately, we have received some very happy comments from users. I am blind, but I go to the movie theater once a month. This great encouragement comment is from Mr. Shunsuke Narisawa, who is in the left picture. It was the first time my family of 3 was able to watch a movie together. The father of family tweeted this comment like in the right picture. We always encourage, we believe the Hello Movie changes amusement and the life to a life of hearing and visually impaired people. Hello Movie was an application for accessibility for the hearing and visually impaired, but the usage are expanding beyond accessibility. For example, it also supports language accessibility. We can provide audio description and closed caption in English, Chinese, Spanish, and so on. Some countries have more than one common language. In case where family members speak different language, they can watch a movie together with Hello Movie. Then we also provide audio commentary. For recent example, One Piece Film Red supports audio commentary with Hello Movie. The descriptors are the director and Mr. Eiichiro Oda. Many people come to the movie theater many times to listen to this commentary. In addition, non-visually impaired people use the Hello Movie to listen to the audio description. They use it to understand the movie more deeply. We cannot imagine at the first release of the application, the users show the new possibility of the usage of this application. Visually impaired people is early adopter for our application. They open the door for the new watching movie method with Hello Movie. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. This is a really fascinating work. I went first last time. Do you want to take the first question?
The first question is very simple. I understood that this so far has been offered in 85, the special service has been offered in 85 theaters. across Japan. How does the customer know in which theater I can find this special service, and how is it advertised?
映画館は今85カ国で使われていますけど、使いたいときはどこに行けばいいかどうやってわかりますか？
We published the list of the movie theaters for supporting AR glasses rental service.
In the Hello Movie app is where you publish it?
Another website.
A question I have for you, is this happening, for the technical question,
Yeah.
is this ASR, automatic speech recognition, or is this some subsonic or supersonic signal that is triggering the advancement of the caption or sound?
We use a combination of acoustic watermarking and acoustic fingerprinting, so for syncing. So, and we provide the audio description, and the closed caption is a prepared one, so non-real-time translation or recognition. Yeah.
As you said, that it helps also to understand the content of the movie better. Is it also in your plan to make it usable at home, in the living room, not restricted to the movie theaters only?
配信
自分の家でも使えるっていう夢がありますか？また映画館注目しますか？
Yeah, I want to expand the usage for users at home. Yeah.
And I have one last question. Do you have to send the audio track back to the studio to mix this into the film, or is this something that the phone recognizes in and of itself? The acoustic fingerprint.
Yeah. We create the acoustic fingerprint data after the all production editing. So we receive the final version of the soundtrack, and we make audio fingerprint from it.
So that means you don't have to add something to the original soundtrack. Your system, your application analyzes what is there and creates out of this information all the additional support functions you're offering. Is this the right understanding technically? Very interesting. Thank you.
自動的に検知する。
そうです。Yeah.
でも実は
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Suzuki-san. Now I'm afraid to say who's next, so let's see what we have next. Our next presentation, please. It is right here. Suzuki, would you pass the clicker?
All right.
Thank you.
Can I be here? You hear me? Yeah? Good. Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Idan MEIR. I'm a co-founder and CEO of RightHear, and we're an audible wayfinding system. You have plenty of people here in the crowd. I don't know how many of you had some hard times finding this specific room. For me, it took a little while. Although there are signage all around us, but they are all visible. Some of them I have Braille on it, but I don't know how many of you can read Braille. Can you raise your hand if you do? 1, 2. And I'll start with that. I'll start with two facts. There are over 100 million Braille signs in the US alone. Really, everywhere you go, whether if it's a public conference hall like here, or if it's a small restaurant, an airport, museum, shopping mall, you'll find them everywhere you go. And it's all around us, and it's great. It means that we made a progress towards accessibility, and I love it. I love to see it. If you compare it to where we were 30 years ago, nothing to compare. But the other fact is that over 90% of the 8 million blind Americans specifically cannot read Braille at all. Don't know how many of you know this fact. And those who can read Braille, having hard times, a lot of time having hard times to find the sign in order to read it. And those who are lucky to find the sign, a lot of time not necessarily want to touch the sign because it's COVID-19 outside. So all in all, it's create a huge challenge for a lot of people finding their way around. And when you ask people people with orientation challenges, especially people who are blind or visually impaired, how do you find your way around? A lot of times the answer is with somebody. And this is exactly what we're changing at RightHear. I'd like to present a video. Let's see if it's going to go through and move from there.
Imagine
walking into a store you've never been to before and trying to find your way around without being able to see. RightHear is an app that uses micro-positioning technology to help blind or low vision users navigate public spaces. The app can verbalize the user's current position and direct them to various points around a space based on their location. Azure Translation Services power the app's 26 languages, and it's compatible with our Seeing AI app. RightHear has almost 2,000 active locations and has established partnerships with restaurants.
Welcome to the restaurant. You are next to the entrance door.
Grocery stores,
You are next to the bakery.
universities,
Please turn left to go to admissions.
and outdoor environments.
You are at the corner of King David and Strauss. 347 locations are nearby.
The app can surface relevant links based on a user's location or help them call an employee for assistance. Now, almost 2,000 places around the world have turned their public spaces into accessible environments with RightHear. Embracing accessibility is key to creating spaces that everyone can enjoy. And RightHear's technology is making that possible for its users. Learn more at news.microsoft.com, Europe.
Thank you. It's an audible wayfinding system through a free app. I'm going to explain a little bit more about how it works in a slide or two, but the benefits for the users are pretty clear. We're helping a lot of people to increase their independence at the end of the day by acquiring better orientation wherever they go, whether if it's outdoors or whether if it's in indoor environments, which we mostly specialize in. But we're not just helping our users, we're also helping enterprises. We're also helping facilities to provide much better customer or guest experience. We also help them to tighten up better the regulatory compliance. The reason there are so many Braille signs out there is thanks to regulations around accessibility. And this is also something that we feel like is being changing nowadays as the awareness, as I start with the two facts, makes sense to all. So it's helping facilities to improve the customer experience, helping them to tighten up their regulatory compliance, their brand image, also to expand their market. We're literally opening up the doors to more people to visit, and even in some cases to save some money, and I can elaborate on that in the Q&A if you like. The way it works is basically with three main components. We have a free app to download. I invite you to download both Android and iPhone. The app supports 26 languages, the most common languages in the world. And this is the user interface. The second component is this. It's a small beacon. It's a Bluetooth device that I'm holding in the size of a matchbox that requires no internet at the facility, no GPS, or not even electricity, because it has batteries inside that last for over six years. This is a talking sign, basically. You put the sticker on the wall or on the ceiling, and that's it. Now, anyone who's go around it can hear the information in their own language, in their own pace, through their free app. There's also the third component, which is an online cloud dashboard, which allows the facility manager and us to control, edit, and manage all the descriptions of the environment. We're currently impacting over 2,000 facilities around the world, primarily in Israel, but also here in Europe and in the US. And the feedback are really amazing, not just from facility managers who are our clients, but mostly from our users who actually use it on a daily basis. Some of them, just like Fik here said, that they're not leaving their house without the app open. And this is type of the feedback that really makes us so excited to wake up every morning into the work. I invite you to join us on becoming, I have 2 more minutes. Oh, I can talk even more. Also, maybe I'll explain that while the app is 100% free to the end users, we're charging facilities with a very reasonable subscription fee. We really want it to be ubiquitous everywhere you go. And in order to do that, it has to be a no-brainer decision for a facility to have. So it's a very reasonable subscription fee. That's what also allows us to gain so many locations. And as the slide says, I truly invite you to download the app, to give us the feedback, and join us on becoming a new standard in the field. Thank you.
I'll go first with a nerdy question.
Please.
With the cloud interaction, what's the latency expected when you have a person walking, hitting a beacon, going to the cloud, translation, back? What's the expectation in terms of latency? Because if you get the information wrong, you can turn into a wall.
Absolutely, absolutely. So first of all, it's all locally. While it's synchronized with the cloud, the information is actually local on the user's device, so there's no delay from that aspect. There is a delay from the signaling aspect of the beacon. So again, geeking here a little bit. There is a bit of a latency, I would say, up to 5 seconds, which sometimes could be a lot. To be honest. In other cases, and it's really depends on how you set up the facility, that's not a big of a problem. Bear in mind that when you go to a new unfamiliar environment, a lot of times you're not walking necessarily the same pace. You just naturally go a bit slower without even noticing this, especially people with orientation challenges. So, yeah.
So if I just one follow-up question. So you have all localizations on the application of the user. There's no data resident on the beacon.
There's no data on the beacon.
Other than like an ID, and this is who I am.
Exactly.
So then in the application, do you preload a map, or is all 2,000 locations in every single application that gets downloaded?
So there's no map here. It's basically, so for every beacon has its unique ID, right? And we program in the cloud what's the content for that ID number. So there's no map there. Just
so it's like a lookup table.
Yeah.
Here's the ID. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Just a lookup table. It's all text. It's text to speech, so it's very slim. The app is not heavy for the user, and it's all local. So.
Excellent. Thank you.
Sure.
Just to connect with your question, how do we deal with the personal safety of the people? I understood that this is a static information. It's helping you to find orientation, but it does not take care about traffic lights or other obstacles. So how do you deal with the safety aspect?
Good question. So the app is not to avoid obstacles or safety at all. Think about it again as a signage layer, just like signs, right? They can tell you that this is where the elevators are, but if there's a step in the way, you should take that in consideration. So the app is not to avoid obstacles or a safety tool. It's part of the terms of use also in the app when you agree, but just to give you to orientation.
Thank you. I've got one more question.
Please.
In terms of beacons, one of the problems I've always, and I think we've even talked about this in the past, is batteries go dead, data gets stale. How long is a beacon expected to last, and what's the sort of recharge or update process?
6 years. As for today, the app, the beacons we're currently using are for 6 years. I always say, when facilities ask me, hey, what happened like after 6 years, I answer that I hope that we'll still have apps then, because it's pretty far. I believe the biggest challenge that we have, I want to answer it from this way, the biggest challenge that we have is less of the beacons and their last of the batteries, but more of the awareness of having this, of the lack of accessibility from that angle in almost every facility we go, when you think about it. So I think, well, the main wave of accessibility discussions, and you see it in a lot of conferences, on digital websites, documents, which is super important. It's time also to look at the facilities, the built environment, and see how can we do better there.
Awareness for all aspects of accessibility is quite difficult.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, we're out of time. I'm sorry. Thank you very much with RightHear.
Thank you.
So who's next now? So pass on, please.
So now the Avatar project, Life Happens wherever you are is our title. May I introduce myself? My name is Thomas Pleczko, and I'm a white man, 40 years of age. I still have more black than silver hair, and I'm wearing glasses and a black suit. From my profession, I'm a clinical psychologist, and we're doing this presentation together, two companies working together in this Avatar project. May I ask you, Martin, to introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Martin. I'm a white man in the 50s. exact age I don't want to mention, in the end of the 50s. I'm the CEO of the Berater, and I'm very happy to be here with Tom, and we hope you enjoy our presentation.
So Life Happens Wherever You Are is a project on a telepresence robot. So we use a telepresence robot called Avatar for children and adolescents in a chronic health condition. So children who are not able to go to school or are not able to attend school regularly, sometimes even are not allowed to due to their health condition. So we speak about children with, for example, cancer. We speak about children with chronic heart diseases who are immunosuppressed, or sometimes also children with psychological issues. Long COVID and post-COVID syndrome is also a current application. We have about 17,000 of these children in Austria alone who have such a chronic condition. So it's approximately 9% of children with chronic conditions who cannot regularly attend school. Well, there is a saying, out of sight, out of mind. And this is not just a saying, it's unfortunately truth in many, many situations for many children with such chronic conditions. What we know from studies is that the patients suffer from a number of consequences of their school absence. These can be academic consequences, vocational, social, and emotional problems. So we have an early school dropout, we have a frequent class repetition, we have social isolation, of course, and what is our main area of research is the sense of belonging. It's a very, as I said, I'm a psychologist, so this is, of course, a topic that is very interesting to us. The sense of belonging to a specific community, especially to the peer group, to the school community, is of utmost importance. And if this is reduced, this may result in secondary mental illnesses. So as a staff member of the Medical University of Vienna and a psychologist, we're running several research projects on the sense of belonging. We are also currently running a so-called PPIE, a Public and Patient Involvement and Empowerment project, because we believe that we can only study this topic together with our patients, together with school-aged children who help us to understand the processes that lie behind this feeling of belonging to a community. So I would be very happy to make worldwide cooperations in our research projects. So please feel free to contact us so we can increase the sense of belonging together. Well, I said out of sight, out of mind. With the telepresence system Avatar, this hopefully can no longer happen. And our project partner Martin, CEO from the Berater company, will now explain you why and give you some technical background.
Just a heads up, we have less than 4 minutes left.
So as you can see, our avatar is in use. So as you can see, you can move the head. If you're wondering why it works and I do nothing, and my son is over there and has the tablet with him. So you can show emotions. I hope you can see it now. If you want to ask a question to the teacher or answer a question, you can turn the light on so the teacher recognizes, okay, the boy, the girl want to say something. You can talk to your neighbors. Sometimes it's very important to ask some question or something like that. But it's not only in school times. You have also vacations. You can use it during birthday parties with friends, going to soccer games, going to the opera or something like that. So what we want to try is to reduce social isolation for the kids. It looks simple, but we have many, many successes all over Europe, and especially in Austria. And we are very proud for this system, and we hope you will enjoy it and give us the chance to make it bigger, and that some vision. Tom told us 70,000 children in Austria. We have around 100 at the moment. So it has to be more and more, and please help us. Thanks.
We prepared a video, so probably we can. I hope this works. Yeah.
Thank you very much. This is a really exciting piece of equipment, and the potential is huge. I have one just simple logistical question. Having kids myself, is what happens when someone drops it? And
it has a very good insurance, so we just replace it.
You don't know my kids, so I'm not so sure that insurance will cover, but obviously liking a lot the idea to reduce social isolation, obviously very touching. My question, I don't know whether I understood it correctly, is this device also capable to record that the kid at home can afterwards, after the hospital visits or whatever the needs are, then have a lesson to be listened later on, or is it just for live, really to have the feeling to be around in the same room at the same time?
It's, in fact, it's only for live transmission. So there is the recording function is suppressed, so there's no possibility to record it. Of course, it's a disadvantage regarding the learning, but that would not be an advantage compared to other technologies. So it's also regarding data protection. It's really very important that there is no recording possible, and also only a one-way video transmission, so that the well, the children with chronic conditions often have signs of their illness, visible signs of their illness. They do not, for example, during a chemotherapy, they do not want to be seen in the classroom, so therefore the avatar is an appropriate method.
Thank you.
And in terms of the research done, I guess it's clear that this is better than not attending school, but comparison against, say, a Zoom class experience and one with avatar, what has the research shown?
Well, the research has shown that the patients feel more comfortable with this device than with a Zoom conference, where they may experience the pressure by their peers to turn on the video, yeah, if they don't want to. So this is the first thing the research has shown, especially compared to other video conference system. And the other thing is we have this reduced sense of belonging in the common situation we had in the past, I don't know, 20 years. And our first results show that the sense of belonging remains stable, at least over a few months. We are not that far in our studies, but for the first few months, the sense of belonging remains stable, and this, I think, is a very important result, and we're putting more effort into this research.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for Avatar. And now I know what is next. It is Mouse for All.
I hope. Thank you. Yeah, it's me. Hello, I'm Javier Montaner. I'm co-founder and co-creator of Mouse for All from Spain. In the last decade, we have moved from desktop computers and fixed internet to the always-on connectivity of mobile devices. However, in this process, we've left behind millions of people with physical disabilities that cannot use a touchscreen with their hands. It's persons with cerebral palsy, spinal cord injury, multiple sclerosis, ALS, and others. That's why back in 2016, we decided to create Mouse for All, an assistive technology that enables access to all the apps installed in an Android tablet or smartphone. Let's see how it works. First, our users cannot touch the screen, so we use an alternative input mechanism, input device called a switch. It's basically a button. They can click on it with the hand, with the chin, the back of their head, whichever part of the body they can use. There are different form factors and sizes, so there is an option for everyone. To connect this switch to the Android device, we need a connection box. They can use our box, but there are lots of options available in the market. And in fact, lately, for the last versions of Android, you can use even a Bluetooth or wireless switch, so you don't even need the box to connect it. Finally, of course, we have the Android tablet or smartphone with our smart app that does all the magic. Basically, what we do is we translate the clicks on the switch performed by the user into gestures or actions on the screen, like touching, dragging, swiping up or down, and even typing. They can do anything. Thanks to Mouse for All, our users can use any application installed on their device. So let's see what they do with it. Some examples. First, here we have Rafa, one of our users. He's using a switch that he activates or clicks just moving his head. And he clicks on it with his cheek. He's a very social guy, and he used to have WhatsApp and a mobile phone before we met him. But the mobile phone was used by his parents and his caregiver, his therapist, to communicate among them. He had a WhatsApp account, but he was not really using it. And every time he wanted to communicate with somebody, he required the help of the person next to him. Now he has his mobile phone mounted on his wheelchair, and with Mouse for All, he's connected all day, WhatsApping to his friends and his family. On top, he has got a privacy that he never had before. He writes and reads his message himself. He doesn't need another person to help him on that task. Another example here is Julio. He likes music a lot, so he uses Mouse for All to listen to his favorite bands in YouTube and Spotify. He cannot read or write, but he also communicates with his sister, who's living abroad in Berlin, using Facebook and emoticons. Last example this is Anna. The day we met her, she had never used before a mobile phone or a tablet, so it was completely new to her. And in under 15 minutes, she was able to take a selfie. And I can tell you, this was a giant leap for her, and also for us as Mouse for All. And now she also likes playing games and puzzles a lot, so uses Mouse for All for that. So you see, every user has a different use for Mouse for All. It's up to them what they do with it. Basically, what do our users think about Mouse for All? Why do they like it? First of all, it's very easy and simple to learn and to use. So, as I told you, Anna, in 15 minutes, she was able to grasp it. Today at the booth, we had the same experience. So, and it can also be configured or set up for different users. So, if a user has more difficulties, we can make it work simpler and slower. For advanced users, or power users as we call them, we put all the options in there, and it's up to them to decide which one they use. Another thing that they also highlight, it works on any Android device, so from the very expensive ones to the low-cost ones, a tablet or a smartphone, and on every app. That means that they are integrated and included in the same groups as their friends and their family. They are using the same WhatsApp application, the same WhatsApp groups, Facebook, YouTube, as their families and friends. And last but not least is, it boosts their autonomy, their privacy, and their social inclusion. And this is highlighted both by the users and by their families and therapists. So, we are based in Spain. We have done most of our work in Spain, but we are talking to a global world audience today. So if you want to use Mouse for All, how can you do it? There are two options. You can buy our connection box from ourselves or from one of our distributors, and that's available today, so you can do it. It's plug and play, so it's very simple to set up, but we understand that that's a complex logistic issue for persons contacting us from faraway countries. So for that, we designed a new version of Mouse for All, where we don't require to use our box. Even if you have a Bluetooth switch, you don't even need the box, but you can even create a box yourself. You can create the switch. Also, you can 3D print it yourself in your country. So there are lots of options there. You can reuse the material that you already have for PC access. And then you only need to download our application from Google Play, and you can start using it straight away. It's got a license, but there is a 30-minute session-free usage. So you can use it forever, and you can try it out. And then if you really like it, you can purchase the license. So to end up, I would also like to ask for your help. So if you're a person with a physical disability, or are part of an organization that works with persons with physical disabilities, please try it out. We want as many users as possible from over the world. We want to listen to your feedback, your needs, to improve our product and see how we can help you further. If you're a distributor, we are very happy to that you add our product to your product portfolio. We have already distributors in Europe, in North America, but we'd like to reach other areas in the world, like South America, Africa, or Asia. And finally, for everyone else in the audience, please spread the word in your country. We know the impact that Mouse for All has made on our Spanish users. Now we need your help to replicate the same impact all over the world. Thank you.
Gracias.
Well, thank you very much. A very simple question. I understood that there is some self-learning capability out of this device, so trial and error, but nevertheless, I think some special training according to the specific needs of the customer will be required. So how do you organize this, or is it to be taken care by relatives? You also mentioned that there's different levels of functionalities depending on the capabilities of the user. So how is this organized that the right person gets the right level of sophistication and can really use it?
It depends on the kind of user. So we've got self-learning users. So it's the actual person with disabilities that contact us and says, okay, I've seen this, I think I can use it. And then it's them that learn by themselves. So it's really simple. They don't need any special training for that. Then we have many therapists or centers, schools that come to us to say, we've seen this on the internet, we've seen you at a conference, so we'd like to try it out. And it's the therapist or the professional people working with the person with disability or with the kids with disabilities that will help them to use it. As I told you, today we had several examples in the booth, and if you haven't, I invite you to pass by the booth and you can see it working and you can try it out yourselves. They learned all by themselves. I just was telling 1 minute talking to them, and while I was talking to them, they were just trying it out and then started using it. Some of them were even faster than I was. So it took me longer to explain how it worked than for them to learn how it worked.
Very interesting, thank you.
Even I was able to learn it. Yeah.
I had no doubts.
So an interesting question for me, since this is part of the Android ecosystem, what are the advantages of Mouse for All compared to the built-in, and how does that impact business?
Okay, so some history. When we started, the solution for Android, well, there was a very basic solution for Android, but the feedback that we got from the end users and the therapists was, okay, this is not usable. Technically it works, but this is not usable for the person with disabilities. Mm-hmm. Since then, that was 2015 or so, Android has evolved a lot, and we are very happy about that, because the same way that the solution from Android, from Google, is evolving, the APIs that we use to implement the solution, the application, are also evolving. So we can do more things and in a simpler way, an easier way, both technically for us and also for our users. So the solution is more plug and play, let's say. So the feedback that we keep getting from our users is the capabilities to set up Mouse for All to the needs of a specific user are much better or much broader than what the off-the-shelf solution from Google provides.
And if I can say, I think the UI is also probably a little bit easier to understand for people with some cognitive disabilities. So it's well done and it needs to exist.
Okay. Thank you.
Any questions?
No, thank you. Just good luck. Very, very, very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, thank you. So I want to thank all of our presenters. We have some wonderful technology that helps profoundly different people around the world with different kinds of disabilities We're here to serve the community. We're here to use this technology to make people's lives better. So I want to thank each one of you for putting up something unique, something powerful, and something meaningful. We all benefit by having accessible technology. We all benefit by having technology that brings people together. So thank you all, and thank you for joining us today. So if we have a couple more minutes, I was racing a little bit. If there's people who have some questions for the panelists, please feel free to come up here and we can answer some questions for you. Yeah, please. If you do, please use the microphone so people can hear.
Okay. Oh, well, sorry. My question before was for RightHear. The question was, how do you get to users? And once you have users, what is your interaction with them?
Mike?
Now it's working? Yeah. Getting to our users, so far it's been done mostly as a word of mouth. We never spent any dollar on getting more users, and that's been able us to grow pretty well. But there's two more options that we work with. One is through the nonprofit organizations that help us to get to the end users. As I mentioned before, it's a free app. And secondly, is through the facilities actually who implement that, because a lot of time the first thing that they do, one of the first things that they do after implementing that is letting the world know that their facility is now more accessible. How? With this new app right here, and you're welcome to download. So this is our way to get there. We've built also a wonderful community of users, those who are already using it and reach to us. The app is 100% anonymous, so it's only voluntarily when they contact us. Thank you.
Can I have a follow-up question? So this community that you're managing, most of them are vision impaired, and like who are the main users?
So mostly.
And how do you manage the community? I mean.
Yes, so that's a great question. First of all, it was a big challenge, and in the first years of our activity, it was an enigma for how to do that. When COVID started, we started sessions of weekly Zoom meetings. All of a sudden, the whole world became remote. It was just happening 3 years, as a reminder to all. And that allowed us to finally run, groups, focus groups, remotely, online, on a weekly, then it even became daily basis. We learn a lot from these sessions, from this community that work with us, especially in Israel. Most of our users are in Israel, but also globally. And maybe I'll mention in terms of other users, so the profile of them, as you ask, mostly people who are blind or visually impaired, but we also find a lot of other audiences, like for example, people with cognitive disabilities, and the main example there is dyslexia. You might see a sign with a lot of text, but you not necessarily can read it, and obviously language barrier. You might see it, but not necessarily in your language. So yeah.
If I can just piggyback off this, awareness of accessibility features is a problem that every one of us up here is going to have. There's so many people such amazing technologies, but it is so difficult to get awareness out. And this is a problem the entire industry have. People with disabilities are often just trying to survive the life that they have because of the challenges. The people who support them are overwhelmed because their expectations are so great and they're having to support so many people. So this is an unsolved problem. So let me put it out to our entrepreneurs here or entrepreneurs here. If you can help solve the accessibility awareness problem, you can literally change the world. No one knows how to do this right. No one knows how to do this well. I mean, I'm at Google. We're pretty good at getting information to people, but we haven't solved this. Our friends at Apple have a spectacular platform. They haven't solved this. Our friends at Microsoft have such amazing technology. They haven't solved this. So this is something, if you want to have an interesting challenge, one that can really impact everyone, help us all communicate amongst ourselves, elevate the most important pieces of technology, and then you can really change the world.
Love it.
Thank you. And now you can have some coffee. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
just press here.